guys, welcome back to another video. So today's sketchbook doodles video, I will be basically just sketching with pencil today. Apologies for my voice. But yeah, we're just gonna be sketching with pencil today. I've been sketching with pencil a lot more recently. I don't know why. I feel like I just miss the feeling of sketching and just shading and just taking whatever steps I need. So it's either like I can leave it super incomplete or I can bring it up to a certain finish with pencil, and I really like that look. So today I'm gonna be drawing my OC Koji because I said in I think my previous video that I wanted to draw my OCs more, and one of the things I wanted to do was to plan out more outfits for him. Now, one mistake that I already did for quite a few of these sketches is that I made Koji a little bit too tall. He's supposed to be around like the age of, I think, 12 to 13. I don't really know the height exactly anymore, but he's a little bit on the shorter side, just because he is like a preteen, like a kid, compared to Masaki. So Masaki is like about, I think, 179 centimeters, and I think Koji is like 150 something, 140 something. I think 150. I don't know what a height, like the height of a middle school kid is at this point, but I feel like some of the sketches that I did of him kind of made him look like beginning of high school-ish. It's mostly the last one that I did, and I feel like it's because I also chose the wrong like attire for him. We'll get into that when we get there. But another reason why I like usually sketching with pencil is usually because of the paper type of the sketchbook. So I kind of took a break from sketching with pencil when I started using like the Arteza sketchbook because of such a rough surface. Pretty much like growing up, whenever I liked to use pencil to sketch or draw, because I did a lot of like realism or attempts at realism when I was younger, and I loved smooth paper like so dang much, and I've always used like a mechanical pencil. I was always told that it was a little bit weird that I drew realistic stuff with a mechanical pencil, because they always thought like, oh, you should be using the normal graphite pencils because it's gonna be a lot smoother. But if you just like slowly build up texture, like things look all right with mechanical pencil. So yeah, I don't think these sketches are a good example of it, but I mostly do kind of like either cross hatching for a few of them, but for the most part I do kind of just like hatching for the shading, just because I'm not looking for like a smooth surface for this. I'm just kind of putting down values and trying to show the clothing folds a little bit. So for Koji's outfits, the first one that I saw was kind of like is it called a Letterman jacket? Or it's like basically one of those sport jackets that kind of like football players wear, or like I don't know what exactly how they're explained, but it's kind of like the two-toned ones. So it's like usually some kind of darker color for the main body, and then your sleeves are like usually white or like gray. And I just thought it would be fun to put him in one of those with a hoodie, and I thought it looked cute. His face is a little botched, but for the most part I think it came out quite cute. I mostly drew Koji in like bulkier or like thicker clothing, I guess, like ones that have a bit of more folds, chunkier sleeves and stuff, just because like I feel like he would not wear more fitted clothes. He's probably more laid back than my other characters. Like Sato probably cares a little bit more about fashion and stuff, because she loves being like stylish, she loves styling her hair and stuff, and like design and all that jazz. And then Masaki is pretty like simple for clothing, so it's usually just like sweaters, turtlenecks, a jacket, jeans. It's like very simple for Masaki, or like sweats and a hoodie at home. But I feel like for Koji it's like a lot more puffy jackets, windbreakers, like and all that kind of stuff. I was browsing on Pinterest for a lot of these outfits because I struggle to draw like male clothing. Usually like whenever I'm doodling 17 or anything like that, I usually use whatever outfit they're wearing in the reference. It's just much easier, and a lot of their clothes are quite simple for the most part. Like whenever I'm drawing Wonu, usually it's like a sweater, a hoodie, or like grandpa vest kind of thing with like collared shirts or anything like that, like really comfy, cozy, but like there's not too much variety that I see in like men's clothing as much, that unless you want to go a little bit more like out there. But I don't know how teens and kids dress, especially like nowadays. It's a little bit different. So yeah, I went to Pinterest to look up some outfits, and a lot of these are kind of like ones that I've seen models wear, so it's a bit harder for me to find something that Koji could wear. But I found some cute ones of like sportswear, so like tracksuit, windbreakers, hats, kind of like hoodies and like all this stuff. But it's like I said, it's mostly like jackets and hoodies for Koji anyways. So usually how I draw using pencil, you can probably see how I've done it before, is just because I haven't shown my sketching process too much recently. I usually pre-sketch everything whenever I'm doing like a sketchbook doodles video, mainly because it's easier for me to get the angle when I'm not recording. But I feel like me using my little wired stand at this low kind of angle and having my camera on the opposite side of my hand kind of works a little bit better for filming. So maybe I can do a little bit more traditional videos where I am showing the full process. We'll see, because sometimes I just like sketching for myself, and it's like a kind of more of a therapeutic time for me. And I usually like painting and like coloring for videos just because I like seeing colored things for like the thumbnail, and just like it's more appealing to the eye. But like I like sketching with pencil like a lot, and I feel like, yeah, after I used the Arteza sketchbook for a while, I kind of went into like a painting phase in my sketchbook, and then I kind of pulled back a bit. And after I started using more of the Stay Comfy sketchbooks from LilyPichu, my favorite pen doesn't really work on this paper for some reason. And I know it's not the sketchbook, it's the pen. Maybe like every other sketchbook, I can't use them for some reason. They just never dry. So I usually have to resort to using some other medium. And in this sketchbook, I think I've painted for the most part, or I've used my colored Eno or a little bit of marker in here. But there's some pencil sketches that I really enjoy, so I might go back and do a lot more pencil sketches. I think another reason why like I haven't done too many pencil sketches in my sketchbook is kind of because of the current situation in the world. Like everybody, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's no like fan signings or like concerts or performances really as much for like K-pop groups. Like, and I'm mostly talking about 17. So when usually they're on promotions and they're allowed to have like stuff like fan signings, or like they're allowed to let fans watch in real life like their performances during like M Countdown or like the show or whatever music show there is. A lot of people take like fan taken photos or like fan cams and like all this jazz, and there's just like a lot more content out there. I used to doodle so many sketches like with pencil, like just pencil, and just go ham with like rendering and like having fun with composition of like putting several sketches on one spread. And because there's not any like fan taken photos anymore, like fan signings where they're wearing like dumb accessories or doing stupid things, there's just like less for me to sketch, because I always love the energy and like the cuteness that comes from those. But recently, because I've been doing a lot more studies and stuff, I'm not sure if it's like as interesting, but I've been sketching more either Genshin characters like in the poses that I find in like on Pinterest, or like from the pose books that I have. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this voiceover is like scattered everywhere. I'm still congested a little bit, so apologies, but yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. But in the future, I would like to do a little bit more sketching videos. I'm just not too sure if people are more interested in seeing like sketching videos, or is it more finished pieces. We'll see. Because I like to keep sketchbook doodles like specifically towards anything I do in usually my sketchbooks. And recently, because I mostly paint with gouache in my sketchbook. That's kind of why I usually film those for videos, because I haven't touched my sketchbook all that much. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and we did pass like the halfway point, but we're nowhere near like 3/4 of the way. I think we're still around closer to like 2/3 of the way down the sketchbook. And I think I need to really pick up the pace. I want to try out Tricky Wagon's sketchbook again, or not again, try out her sketchbook. I've always used one from like EPOW or Eeks, and then I always used one from, I think, C Points as well. But I would like to try out Tricky Wagons, because so far the ones from, I think, Eeks and C Point, and I believe they buy their stuff together, so I'm pretty sure like the quality of the paper and the type of paper is the exact same, which means that I can probably use my favorite little pens in the sketchbook. And the pens I'm talking about are the Staedtler Liquid 0.7, and they really don't dry on a lot of paper surfaces, so it's always really annoying that I can't do like fine details on the paper after like I've done like some marker or something that's already laid upon the paper. I used to do a lot more like marker doodles before. I'm pretty sure if you watched like any of my, I think maybe around 2 years, like a year to 2 years, like my sketchbooks during that was like those times, I've done a lot of similar methods of doodling, which is either like pure pencil like today, or not pure pencil, pencil and marker together for doodling, because I love adding like color blocks or like pops of color for sketches if I can. Or I use the Crayola Super Tips with that fine liner or like that pen. Or I've done, what else have I done? Cold erase, the Prismacolor Cold Erase. I would like to reuse them again. It's just like some of them are getting to like the really nubby stage, so it's hard to sharpen them. But I think it'd be fun to revisit them and sketch more 17. Like the most of the stuff that I sketch from 17 now is mostly stuff from going 17, and I still really enjoy it. It's just like, I don't know, I miss the fan interaction sometimes, because seeing more of those candid photos from specifically fan signings. I don't really like the airport photos anymore, or like anything other than like the fan signing, because it does feel a little bit more invasive of their privacy. So yeah, I haven't really done more of like airport fashion looks from them anymore. I mean, they're not really traveling anyway, so it's like there's nothing that changed much anyways. Yeah. But for the doodles, so the first one was like that jacket and the hoodie. The second one was kind of more like a windbreaker situation with just a pair of shorts. The third one, I actually really don't like that doodle. It's just him with like a ball cap and kind of like the same kind of windbreaker, puffy sleeve jacket. And then this one, I was trying to think of more of a like a winter outfit for him. And I feel like because I've drawn Koji with like baseball caps before, I feel like he's the type that would wear like toques or beanies when he's out and about, like during the winter time. I don't really see Masaki and I don't really see Sato really wearing them, but I feel like Koji would, so decided to throw a beanie on him and put on a hoodie, his backpack, and just kind of like a normal winter jacket that you can't really see because of the angle. But yeah, I always have fun doing like hatching for pencil. I always think it's a fun way to add like value to sketches, but also if you break up the pieces into like chunks, like I don't know if you can see on the toque part that I drew like a line to establish where the shadow is, and then just do another layer of the pencil to deepen up the shadows. I always think that always looks nice. It's just an easy way to add value difference, but also like clothing folds, or like establish a little bit more depth and kind of like the actual physical 3D-ness of an object, but like in a super easy way. But yeah, as you can see, like the way how I usually sketch, I think I was trying to say this at the beginning, but every time I do voiceovers, my brain is like all over the place. So usually I will sketch out like the shape of the head, as well as like if I'm planning to draw the body, I will throw in the body first. But sometimes I sketch like a different way, where I kind of finish one piece and kind of move downwards. but for the most part, I like to sketch general to specific. So I usually throw in the head, throw in the body, just really lightly, and then when we're starting to add other elements, that's when I start to basically press harder with the pencil and kind of do almost like a line art before we start to add in like the values and the hatching or cross hatching for some of these, so that we can make stuff look a little bit darker. This is the one where I actually like the body for it, but I made him a little bit too lanky for a, I think, yeah, he's like 13 or something. So I did make him a little bit too lanky, but also because he's in middle school, I feel like I drew the wrong uniform for him. So I feel like there's certain Japanese uniforms that are akin to like specific looks, and I feel like the middle school ones tend to have like the high collared, more fully black or like darker color uniform jackets, if that makes sense. Like they don't really have the collars and the tie showing usually, at least like not from what I've seen from like pictures of different outfits. I feel like this is more high schooler, but the way I drew it seems more like he looks like an intern for like work or something, and it looks really off. So yeah, I think it's because like I wanted to draw him with like more of a like a pea coat situation over his uniform, but now it looks more like a blazer, oversized blazer on top of a kid, and now he looks like a small intern. It's like, hey, like first interview or something. Yeah, I was trying to make it look like it was like a first day of school picture, but yeah, he does look a little bit too old for his age, as well as his body is just extremely long. Like I should have shrunk his torso and shrunk his legs a little bit. But yeah, it's okay. It was a fun thing to experiment. So the doodles on the left side of the page I did in one sitting, and then I did the right side in a different sitting. And I think I didn't transfer that same energy of me wanting to work with pencil during that time, because I took a break. I did a few chores and I ate like lunch during that time. So the break probably made me feel like, oh, like I just want to complete the spread, and I kind of rushed. The third one and the fifth one basically is the ones I rushed. The one with the toque, I took my time a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully I can record these a little bit better for the future, because some of them look a little washed out. In post, I am doing my best to color correct them a little bit so you guys can actually see the sketch a little bit more, like a little bit more accurately. I'm just adding a little bit more marker to the sketches just to keep things kind of like color blocked and a little bit more interesting. I feel like if you have a full spread of pencil sketches, you don't really need to add color, but I kind of really like it because I did have a few gaps in certain places. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching today's video. I know it's kind of all over the place and some of the sketches are a little bit wonky. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching today's video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!